I just want to share something with you guys today on my drive into work. I hope y'all are doing great. I hope you have an amazing day today, and just get into your word. But something that spoke to me today about Matthew 13:44, that it says, "The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field that a man finds and buries it again, and in his joy he goes and sells everything that he has and he buys that field." So most of the time we may read it and say what does that even mean? Okay, he finds a treasure in a field somewhere and he just buries it again. In our human mind, we think, who would bury it again? You found it, right? Just keep it, take it with you. He wanted to do things right. He buried it again. He sold everything that he had to buy that piece of property to acquire that treasure that he had found. Now, the second part of that is he sold everything that he had. So to his family, to his friends, to everybody around him, he seemed like the crazy one. He seemed like he was foolish. They probably told him, "What do you want with that field? What could you possibly want with that piece of property that's uneven, that's been abandoned for so many years? It's just unwanted. What do you want with it? You're crazy. Why are you selling all of the stuff that you have just to have that piece of property? That doesn't make sense." So the beautiful thing about that whole story is that it only focuses on the one person, right? It only it's talking about one person. But there's actually three type of people. There's three type of people in that story that you could identify yourself with. The one who is crazy, the one that goes and finds something either by accident or intentional. That's you, God, either by accident or intentional, because you were digging and you hit rock bottom. I don't know. That's that person. You go sell everything. And there's a song that says, I have been forever convinced that I'll never find a love quite like this. So take the world, take it all, but give me Jesus. And it talks about I don't care about losing status or my position at work or money or whatever it may be. It says take all of this. King Solomon said, he was one of the wealthiest king that ever lived. And in Proverbs he says, this is all meaningless. That's what he said. So back to it says, take the world, take it all, but give me Jesus. So that is one type of person, that we don't care what we lose, we want Jesus. Now there's a second person, the one who's unaware. Let's say that you have a treasure that's buried underneath your house. There's this box with $1 million. You're unaware. It's right underneath your deck or right underneath your house, whatever you call it, and you're just unaware of it, right? And think about all of the benefits that you could have if you were to get your hands on all of that money that is just buried underneath your house. Think about all of the things that you could do and travel and all of the things you could buy, and talking about money wise, and to benefit your family or yourself or your friends or whoever, your neighbors. You're missing out on it. And most of the time we are sitting on this treasure that is the gospel, that is the good news, but we're unaware. We just never looked for it. We never found a metal detector. We never cared to dig deeper, to give it any of our interest, any of our time. And we go through life unaware. That is the second person. I don't know how many people can identify with that second person. The first one, the crazy one, the second one, the unaware, and then there's a third one. There is a third person, the one who is afraid. That one reminds me of the parable of the parable of the talents, where, I don't know if you've read this story, but there's a parable of the talents where there is the master and then there's 3 servants. And the master goes away and he tells the servants, he gives the servants talents. And he says, hey, to one he gave 1, to another he gave 3, and to another one he gave 5. And he says to them, I will be back. Sound familiar? He says, I will be back. And he leaves and he comes back. And when he comes back, he says to the one that he gave 5, he says, what did you do with what I gave you? And the guy tells him, I multiplied it. I got 5 more. And he says, awesome, great job. He goes to the other one and he says, what did you do with the 3 that I gave you? And he says, I also multiplied it. You gave me 3, so here's 3 more. Then he asks the last one, what did you do with what I gave you? And he tells him, well, because I know that you were a harsh master, I hid it. There's that third one. There's that third person. I hid it because I knew you were a harsh master. And the master said, you fool. You could have at least put it in the bank and it would have created interest for me. And it says in the story that he threw him where there is gnashing and weeping of teeth, which is eternal damnation, which is hell, in other words. So there's the 3 people, the 3 types of people. The one who is afraid, who hides it. The one who is unaware. And the one who is crazy. So the very last one that we talked about, the one who is afraid, most of the time we are on the fence about, well, what if I lose my friends? Yeah, your friends are going to go away because they're going to think that you're weird. They're going to think like, why he goes to church now and he goes to Bible studies and he's all goody good. Like I don't want to hang out with him. He doesn't want to come to our gatherings. He doesn't want to come to our barbecues or whatever. Why? Not because that person may think that they're better than you, because they don't want to surround themselves with something that they've been freed from either people having just nonsense conversations, using bad language or drinking or doing whatever it is, that swearing or just things that they were once a part of. They no longer want to be a part of those things. So they want to separate themselves. They want to consecrate themselves from the rest of the world because they have found a treasure that is worth it to them, that they have found true freedom from. So there's those 3 different type of people. And that came to mind this morning when I read Matthew 13:44 in the Bible Daily app. And I was like, that is awesome. I read that from a book in Spanish. And it just, I put my few words into it to elaborate. But I just want to encourage you guys, which type of person do you identify yourself with today? And what can you do to change, to become someone else if you are stuck? Let's say you are the person who's afraid. What can you do? Let's say that you are the person who is unaware. What can you do to find that treasure that you've been sitting on for all of these years unaware? And if you're the crazy one, well, guess what? You're doing it right, because you don't give a flip about this world, because it's all going to pass. Eventually, this will all be gone, and we will be with God forever and ever in his glory, worshiping him every single day, giving him praise that he righteously deserves, because who else is worthy but him? Have a great day, you guys. I love you. And if there's any prayer requests that you guys may have, please send them. I know that would also help me to just grow my own personal faith. Peace.